There it is. It's ringing.
This is Global
call is now
Telly.
being
You
recorded.
have a prepaid call from an incarcerated individual at
Can you guys
the
hear?
Central California Women's Facility, Chowchilla, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be
All right, cool,
charged for
perfect.
this
Thank you.
call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, Jeanette, how's it going? I appreciate, you calling in again to you have a collect call from. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Happy Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is Friday the 13th, man. It's a good way to end the weekend.
Yeah, it's been a week since I called every week.
Yeah. I don't recall what day last week we spoke, but yeah,
I think it was Friday.
okay. So 7 days. Man, in the last 7 days, I believe this would be the first time you're speaking, publicly about your whole experience, you growing up and where you're currently at right now. Do you feel like maybe you want to double back on something that possibly maybe we missed out on, or maybe that you would be that you think would be important to share with our audience about our journey? And hold on, let me see. So can barely hear her. Is there any way you could talk a little bit louder, because they can't? It appears that they can't hear you all that loud.
Can you? Yeah, these tablets are no fun. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I could hear you good. It just I think when the audio goes out to the stream on TikTok, on your end, it's a little bit lower.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
put
better.
the volume all the way up.
Okay, that's a lot better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was just thinking back after we got off the phone on like what really led to me falling off and really messing things up, and I believe it got worse. Like everything had gotten bad. By the time I was 17, I had told you that I was in a good household. It was just a single mom. My mom did her best to raise us. My dad was absent, in and out of prison, and then some stuff happened within the family that just they never reconciled. So it was just me, my mom, and my siblings. Grandma helping, my uncles helping, and then what I want to say, by the time I was 13, 14, I was really bad on drugs already. I still can't remember first time, if it was with a friend or how it happened, but from me trying to rebel, I guess, against my mom and just not wanting to listen to her. She was so old school, traditional Mexican household, like, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to, and then me being a girl, like, if the boys can do it, I can do it. That was always my mentality, like, no, and being raised around a lot of friends, like, always being the only girl, like, I felt like I didn't really think how I was supposed to, like, I always wanted to prove myself, like, no, I can do the same things that the boys can, or probably better. So with that mentality, my mom, she just didn't have it. And then my drug use wasn't making the situation better. So by the time I was 15, I had left. Told you guys about that. But something I think that really traumatized me and really led me into using for a long time was my first relationship. Before my kid's dad, I had a boyfriend, and pretty much getting left at the altar really messes somebody's mental up. And that happened when I was 17. It's something that it's still hard to talk about. We had our wedding planned and everything. Turned 17. He was 3 years older than me. He was in the Army. His family didn't like me, so he just didn't show up. He didn't show up, so that was the spiral of my drug addiction, of where I just went all out. And I was 17 years old, and not wanting to listen to my mom, not wanting to come back home. We had gone to Vegas. Everything was already paid for. My bridesmaids were there. His groomsmen was there. And this was my high school boyfriend, my first relationship. So being a little girl, me really thinking I was in love. And no, it caused a lot of trust issues. And this is a person that had nothing to do with the lifestyle that I later on got involved in. So I think that's what pushed me away from a lot of stuff and shutting down and just hiding in my addiction, because I've never been a person to use with friends. I was just always doing all of that stuff by myself. Like, I never condoned into bringing another person down with me. Don't get me wrong. When I was with the homeboys, everybody wanted to do the things. And just to me, like, no, I'll be back. You guys do what you guys do, and I'll do it over here. But that was really what made me spiral out of control, was losing that relationship, and with the hurt and not having my dad around, not having I had a father figure, my uncle, but just he had his own life. It was my mom's youngest brother. That really messed me up until, I want to say, when I turned 18. When I turned 18 and had my first son, finding out I was pregnant was really hard, because I was only 8 months fresh out of that relationship to getting pregnant by my kid's father, my ex-husband. So I stayed sober. For my pregnancy, and it was just on and off struggle, back and forth. I'd be sober during my pregnancies and then fall back into that rut, because I went from a bad relationship to a worse one, where there was a lot of abuse, a lot of cheating, no trust. There you go. The hourly
Man, hey, surprisingly enough, right when they talk on the speaker, that comes in nice and clear.
That goes in clear, right?
Yep.
Yeah. No, yeah. But it's been a lot of things that contributed to me being the way that I was. And like I was telling you, James, I had to sit down and really think about the trauma that I've been through. I'm still working on it. All these years later, the blessing in the disguise of, I believe, getting this time, I sat down to think about a lot of stuff that I've been through. I've worked through some of it, most of it, I can say now. But the root of everything, my addiction and not being able to trust, because I've been let down a couple times. And with people that I never thought would do the things that they did,
For sure.
That's the main contributor to why I started running the streets, why I pretty much didn't care. Like, by the time I caught my case, I felt I was 28, but
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I felt like I was 38. I had lived a long, stressful life is what I felt, being a single mom, raising 3 little boys, trying to do right by my family, trying to make up for the past mistakes that I had made, just to let them down in the worst way possible. But these last 8 years, it's been a hard journey, a lonely journey. But I'm in a better place, I'm in a better place. This is the soberest I've ever been. I'm still upset. I had told you when I had came back from court, August 2021, I was really mad. The day that I got here, I got off on the cops and landed in June, 18-month shoe term. And coming back for 14 years, you would think that I would have been grateful, and I wasn't. I ended up catching 4 more years. So right now I'm at 18 years. Something a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of families don't know. But that's been another thing to be, I guess I'm grateful for it in a way, because I feel like I still have some work to do within myself of why I'm still here. I'm trying to see the cup half full instead of half empty. Like, I still got a little bit of work to do on myself.
And
But
at this point, how long have you been
yeah,
sober right now?
this is, I want to say, it's been a couple of months of what I usually use. Not that long on other things. Um, I tell my family, like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I tell my sister, my younger sister, the one that I speak to the most. That's the one thing that I refuse to do is to lie to them. But I've been sober a minute, just not as long as I would wish.
Yeah.
But you would think that us being incarcerated, we'd be completely sober.
Yeah.
But no. It's something I still struggle with. It's the longest relationship I've ever had. I have been using since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So it's something really hard to let go, especially when it's a coping mechanism. Like, you guys let me down, but this won't let me down. Even though I believe for me being an addict for this long, it's not something that makes me happy anymore. So I see no use in doing it. It's more like just being bored, I guess. Like, it's just, hey, whatever. If there's nothing to do, another day in Chowchilla, we're slammed down again. Why not? We stay being locked down. So it comes with the boredom, I guess, because I don't feel myself I'm an addict anymore. It's just, it gets boring in here. As dumb as that may sound, it really does. There's nothing to do when they have a modified 24/7.
And what's the reason? Would you happen to know? Because that does strike me kind of as odd. Because I do talk to some of the gentlemen in different prisons in California, and I don't think I've ever spoken to anybody that has been in as much modified program as yourself. It seems like they're never running day room or any programs or anything like. If you don't mind, sharing with some insight on what's happening over there.
So we were told that there was budget cuts. We were told the story always changes here. There's never solid information, and it's messed up because sometimes the inmates know more than the staff does. And one of the main reasons is Mondays and Tuesdays, I believe it's staff shortage, but I don't know if you guys are aware of the guys that managed to escape from Delano, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hernandez. I think his name is Cesar Hernandez.
Yes,
Yep.
Hernandez.
Yeah.
Hernandez. Shout out to Cesar. He's the main reason why we're locked down.
And what he was trying to do? Was he trying to do like an unofficial transfer? Letting himself out, getting himself into the women's prison.
Man, I don't think so. I hope not. We already have enough of those here. But I was talking to staff earlier this week because it's supposedly the first Monday, the first Tuesday. It's always been the first Friday, the first Tuesday for training. But they switched it up on us, and she was telling me due to him taking off, they have to do a new type of training. So that's I believe the main reason that we've been modified so much. But besides that, I'm not in the best unit or the best yard, and we don't have officers that ever want to work this unit. So that's another reason. It's another reason that at least my unit is always on lockdown. We don't have steady staff here.
Yeah.
We have probably one or two that are regulars, but it needs to be two of them. And it's getting to the point where they might not need to start bringing 3 from how bad this unit is. But there's a lot of reasons, a lot of other stuff too that goes on, that people do that shouldn't be doing that I think contributes to it as well. But we're the most.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
We're the most modified unit, and if you ask me, it's not good to keep women locked in around each other for so many days at a time. We start acting out. yeah, and start acting out.
You know what? I don't think I ever asked you what level prison are you in? Because I didn't even think about that. I'm just thinking women's prison that everybody's thrown in there together. But do you guys have different levels like the men do?
Yes, yes, this is a level 3, level 4 prison. They still have level 1, but for the most part, Chowchilla is a level 3, level 4 prison.
All right. So
It's gonna hang up, James.
yeah. So if you could go and call us back, and we'll go ahead and continue.
Yes, I'll call back.
All right, cool, for sure. Thank you. All right. So for those of you that are new here, we currently got Jeanette Garcia on a call with us here. She's located in Chowchilla State Prison, which is I believe in Central California. Is that close to you, Nalgas Tumbadas? I know you mentioned that you're from what was it? What was the city here? I wrote it down on my because honestly I wasn't familiar with that city, so I looked it up and Google told me that I was located in California. Let me see here. I'm from Arvin. Arvin, that's right. Yep. So right now we're just waiting for her to call back. Tell her I'm from Arvin. I'll mention it to her right now. I'm sure she should be familiar with that city, if you will. So yeah, so this would be the second part of her journey. I uploaded the first part of her journey onto YouTube, and let me connect this here.
This call is
This
now
is
being
Global
recorded.
Tel-Link. You have a prepaid call from an incarcerated individual at the Central California Women's Facility, Chowchilla, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
Cinco.
Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Hello, Jeanette.
Yes.
All right. So
Okay.
I got a comment on here, and his handle makes me chuckle every time that I say it. He goes by Nalgas Tumbadas, and he writes, "Tell her I'm from, tell her I'm from Arvin." So he's from that area right there, I guess, near where your prison is located.
Oh, okay. I'm not from up here. I'm from down south, so I have no idea where that's at.
Okay, hey, that's what I was saying. He said I had to look it up on Google. And it's a city up there. I think it's I want to say near like Bakersfield. I want to say.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have no idea where I'm at. I just know I'm like 15 minutes from Fresno.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? On the first part of our interview, somebody had left a comment on here on the video, so I want to go ahead and read it off to you, and get your thought on this comment here, and it was written by JD Morales 6236, and he writes, "Dang man, Janet is more solid than 70% of the guys locked up. Hopefully she can come home soon. What a shame if she really wasn't there. Shows the corrupt system. Stay strong, Jeanette."
Thank you, JD. Yeah, there's no justice in the system. There's no justice in the system at all. I'm trying. There's a couple of bills that have passed. They're not laws. A lot of people think they're laws, but there's a couple of bills that have passed that I'm trying to apply for me to get back out to court, for them to reopen my case and really this time look into it. I don't mind doing the rest of my time, but to me it's just not fair. It's not fair that I'm still here all these years later. I had no support with my attorneys. I had pretty much nobody fought for me. And like I was telling you guys, being in county and seeing what I was facing, it was something that, like, I knew it was coming, but I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it till I finally signed for my time. Like, they're really getting me for all of this. They're really gonna wash me up and do all of this, knowing, having proof that I wasn't there. Like I was telling you earlier, it never crossed my mind to okay, well, I'm going to tell. Give me a better deal or time served and I'll tell. No, like, I wasn't there, and even if I was, it's still not something that I wanted in my conscience.
Yeah.
That my co-defendants, that's somebody's dad, somebody's brother, somebody's relative, and so hard they wanted me to flip on them. There's nothing for me to say. I was held in contempt 3 times by the judge for not getting on the stand, being told time and time again to my attorney, well, ordering her to get on the stand. No, I'm not moving from right here. I'm not moving from right here. I have nothing to say. I wasn't there. I don't know what to tell you guys. Shoot me my time, and I'll be home one day. Like, that's not something that I ever wanted on my conscience. Having either one get washed up or the death penalty or LWOP. No. That's just, I get told a lot, like, damn, boy, you're stupid. Like, I would have told in a heartbeat. If that's how you were raised and that's how you were built, then that's you. But I couldn't. I wasn't going to do that to either one of them. To me, it's not okay. It's not okay.
But with you doing that, you obviously, you sacrifice a lot. You sacrifice your, obviously your freedom, relationships, with your family members, your kids and whatnot. How does that make you feel? Looking back at it, that's a huge sacrifice. Not seeing your kids, being able to, be there, them growing up, going to school, missing out on a lot of their time. How do you feel about it now?
I kicked myself in the ass. I'm not gonna lie, but what I had asked God when I took my time was, if I take this time, it's so my kids won't ever touch a foot in prison, in jail. And I feel like God has answered my prayers, James. My sons are doing amazing. They're in Texas. They're out of the neighborhood. But that was my main concern, because when my case happened, my mom was still living in the neighborhood. I didn't want my sons to ever fear or be scared that something.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
In retaliation of me doing something. Many people don't understand it, but my family was still in my neighborhood. And it's not something that I was ever going to do. Because to me, that would have been selfish of me. For me to get out, yes, I still had my sons to raise. But like I was telling you, because I was so deep in my addiction, I felt like, you know what, my kids are in a better place now. My parents are going to do better by them. I'm okay with doing this. If it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for my kids to be better. And that's how, till this day, I still see it that way. And I'm very, very blessed. To see that my sons are in they're in a better environment, they're in a better place. They've had their hard times, don't get me wrong. My middle son, he's already had his little bump-ins with getting in trouble for fighting, but besides that, he's a good kid. My boys are really, really, they're lucky. They were given the chance, I believe, to have a better life than me and their dad did. So that's the only reason why I feel like sometimes I'm at peace with taking my time. Is I did it for my sons. Even though I did sacrifice not being there. That's what gets really hard, especially around their birthdays, around the holidays. It's something all of these years later that I do still struggle with, but the fact that they're doing okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it.
Man, that's rough. I could hear the pain, in your voice, and man, like, to a lot of people it wouldn't make sense, but as long as you're good with it and your decision, works for you, then that's all that matters. Your kids are in good health, they're doing good, so That's cool. Let me ask you something. So you stayed loyal. You stayed 10 toes down. You didn't get up on the stand. Was that loyalty reciprocated? By the people that you protected.
I don't know. I know. I know I can go back home if I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's still been thrown in the mix that I still told that I that I did this and I did that, but my co-defendants know that the things that I've heard from other people that were housed with them, that they knew how I was built, that I wasn't going to do that to them, that it was returned not so much on my ex, but I made my peace with him when I came back from court. I don't know if he ever got my letters, but I wrote him and I told him I forgave him for everything, for what I went through with him, for the little involvement that I did have in the case, that till this day, as hard as it is, James, I pray for him. I pray for my other co-defendant. By the grace of God, my other co-defendant got acquitted. He went home. And I believe that that's another reason why the DA was so mad, because they wanted me to tell on him. They wanted me to fabricate and to say them. Like when I seen the papers or the stuff that they wanted me to say, I was looking at them like, oh, you guys are crazy. Like, that's not what happened. I'm not saying that I know what happened, but I can guarantee you that's not what happened. And that's not what you guys are going to have me say on that stand, because you guys are going to make me lie. Like, no. So I'm hoping that they see that all these years later, like, regardless of anything, I wasn't going to do them like that. And I hope me and my co-defendant, my ex, are in a better place. I have nothing bad to say about him. We were both two lost causes, but by now I think I'm okay with them. With the one that went home, I've always been okay with, but it was a bitter relationship with my other co-defendant. Back and forth, me being ugly, him being ugly. But I really do hope he got that letter. I really do hope he got that letter. I'm not so much mad at him no more. It's just I wish we both were dealt a better hand.
Yeah.
A better hand. And he realizes that when I told him till the wheels fall off, I meant it. As mad as I was at him till the wheels fall off, I really meant that. I wouldn't take him from his kids, from his siblings, from his parents, everything else that happened after I took my plea. Like I told you guys, I was left in the dark. I didn't know. I didn't know my co-defendant had got acquitted till a little bit before I was coming back to prison, when the DA was just really mad. Like, no, I don't have to do what's right. You're going back. You legally binded yourself, so you're going back. So till this day, I know I'm the only one holding the charge for the body. So that's another thing that really messes with my head, though. Like, realizing who my victim was after. His nephews, his nieces, his daughters, his grandkids. I didn't know who my victim was till after. And somebody that's from the same neighborhood as me, born and raised, still don't know his circumstances, don't know much about him, but I was friends with the nephew of his. So I know there's people that are okay with me, but they don't like my victim's family, which I don't feel like I have any explaining to do. But I know they're the ones that aren't going to be okay with me, because I look guilty. Why didn't you tell? Why did you take all that time if you had nothing to do with it? But like I said, I did it for my reasons, not for anything else, or because I was involved in it, or anything besides that, you know? I feel like I'm okay with the people that matter. I'm okay with the people.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Jeanette, let me ask you something. You know, like you're like, you know, the type of case you got and the kind of situation you're in. How often do you run into people that are in similar situations like that you're in, that the only reason they're in prison is because they refuse to, you know, to get up on the stand and had nothing to do with whatever they were convicted or charged with?
It's a lot of women in here, more than you would think, James. A lot more that were guilty by association. We're guilty because of who our boyfriends were, who our friends were, who our family is. It's a lot of us. It's a lot of us. A lot more than I can really count, to be honest with you. For just in this unit alone, probably like 20 of us, if not more. We're us as women, like you would think that the justice system would be a little more lenient towards us. And it's messed up because us women, we do most of our time. As the men,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
they get more programs, they have more resources, they get home sooner than we do. But it's a lot of us. It's a lot of us, James.
Damn, that sucks. Man, I know.
Sad reality.
Yeah.
Sad reality of the justice system here in California.
In which brings me to you know, like visiting and stuff. You know, at the men's prisons, you know, you see wives, girlfriends, moms, and you know, a lot of people, you know, visiting them. Is that the same for the women? You know, when it comes to visiting.
Oh yeah, there's women. I want to say they have an event for them during the holidays, for Mother's Day. Yeah, there's women that still, 20 years later, their kids are still coming, their husbands, boyfriends, admirers, people that they meet.
All right, so these calls are only limited to 15 minutes, and they're automatically cut off. So she should be calling us back in the next moment or two. For anybody that's wondering, this is Jeanette Garcia. She's currently housed at Chowchilla State Prison in the state of California, Central California, I believe. So Central. I'm not sure if it's the Central Valley or I'm not too familiar with the map up there, but yeah, so she's sharing her journey with us. If you guys want to check out part one of her interview, go to @CollectCallFrom, go to playlist and look up Jeanette Garcia. You know, from what she says, she wasn't involved in the crime that she you know, ultimately took a plea deal for. But she wouldn't step on the stand for her co-defendant. So they ended up pretty much just, you know, laying it out on her. She's sentenced to 14 years in state prison. She's down to her last 3 years. And there she is. She is calling back.
This call is now being
This
recorded.
is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from an incarcerated individual at the Central California Women's Facility, Chowchilla, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
5.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, the visiting here, it gets packed. And it's funny because a lot of the staff, the female staff at least, can't understand how there's women behind bars that have all these guys that are interested in talking to them. Pen pals, people that they've never met, you know? But yeah, it gets interesting hearing the stories that happen in the visiting.
Yeah, you know what? I've seen this show. I'm not sure if you guys get cable TV, but there's this show called Love After Lockup or Love During Lockup, and it's like these people that meet online and then they go through like their journey, and it's a trip, like the stuff that these people, you know, do sometimes. You know, a lot of people, you know, they get used or, you know, and
Yeah.
they end up in really bad situations.
Yeah, I see that a lot. There's pen pal sites where it's pretty much an advertisement of yourself. I've never posted on anything. I'm the type where I'd rather do my time by myself than to be entertaining anything. I have a lot going on. Not that I haven't spoke to somebody like that before, just recently. But yeah, a lot of these women just use these guys.
Yeah, I mean, what you offer, I don't blame them.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but that's what another reason why I wouldn't want to have a pen pal or talk to somebody, because for me, like I said, I was just built a certain way, raised a certain way. You don't use people, but there's gold diggers even in here. Yeah. And these men fall for it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's the same way though for the guys, but I do know with the men it's different. They do marry their pen pals. They go home to these women.
Yeah.
9 out of 10, these women are not going home to these guys though. So that's the difference. Yeah.
And why do you think that
It's
is?
true.
Do you think it's because the men, they come from different, like a different lifestyle, different walk of life, and maybe these women are used to a different type of man, or what's your thought on that?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like I have friends, a few of them, that do tell me their little stories or little journeys that they've had with these guys, and I'm like, how do you do it? Like, how? I have to have a connection with somebody for me to even entertain anything, like
Yeah.
be from the same city, have similar friends, like something. These guys, and there's guys from other countries, from Europe, from London, from all over, that hit up on these girls, and they get mad when they get left when these girls leave. But I don't know, James. I wouldn't know the answer to that as to why they do the things that they do like that. Or
Yeah.
I believe like some of these women come from that walk of life where that's their profession. So probably that would be another reason.
Yeah.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
They're used to that lifestyle, I guess. But a lot of these men, they know their place too. So when they want to cry and they want to, oh, well, she didn't know. A lot of these girls are really upfront with what they do.
Damn. Hey, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch up the subject right there. But you know what? You know, because you've been down for like a little bit over like 7 years at this point.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know, being gone from that, you know, being gone from prison that long, people, you lose people while you're incarcerated. Have you ever experienced, any loss of life or any family members while incarcerated? And if you did, how does that affect you?
Yes. Quite a few, James. My little homeboy's passing is the one that affected me the most. When I got here in 2019, I think, and October, after I had took my time, I called home, and my mom told me that my oldest son had got home crying, saying he passed, he was killed. Till this day, I still don't know how it happened, why it happened. His name was Henry, young Tutu. That was one of the first ones that hit me the hardest. Didn't want to be sober for a while. Till this day, I picture him being out there, like, checking up on my boys, just him doing him, just, it's not a reality to me. That he's gone. I've had uncles and aunts that have passed. I want to say the holidays last year and my uncle this year, and I feel like my mom, she tries to keep it from me, but then later on tries to ease it in, but it's never easy. It's never easy. But I feel like I've dealt with death my whole life, so it's easier being out and dealing with it, but being here by yourself, it's hard. It's hard, especially when you don't want these people to see you break down. We're in a place where you have to pretty much keep your guard up at all times. You can't let people see you. Even though we're women, we are very emotional shit. I feel like I'm super emotional, but I do all the crying in my room by myself when I call home with my little sister. And she tells me it's hard. It's hard, Jane, especially when you're trying to stay sober. All these years later, he passed away in 2018. I've had a couple passings since then, but these last two passings that I had last year and this year, they weren't easy, but they weren't as hard as the ones before. But I think because I'm, like I told you, the most sober I've ever been. But the first couple of ones, it just makes you want to use, especially when that's all you know, I think. And the way to numb it, the way to not feel, the way so people don't see what you're going through. When you're an addict, it's easier to go back to that route when you're in here and you lose family members, people that you care for.
Man, that's man, my heart goes out to you, just hearing that. Let me see. So we got a comment saying it sounds like your audio's a little bit off again. If you could adjust your microphone, and hopefully we'll get a little better.
How about now?
Oh, that was right there. Perfect. I'm not sure what you did right there, but it was like it like doubled the sound.
It's these tablets. Yeah, it's these tablets. They're horrible.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah. I've experienced a lot of stuff, like a lot more than a lot of people that I know, but I do feel like that's what's made me the person that I am today. Like, it hasn't been an easy journey. It hasn't been an easy life, but I'm still grateful and blessed. I see the good that came out of all of this. I still get told, like, well, why aren't you home yet? Like, well, what the hell is taking you so long? I'm just trusting my journey. I'm trusting God, I feel like everything is for a reason. I finally started going to groups this year. I stopped taking off on the cops. It's been like 2 years that I keep my hands to myself now. Like, I resorted to a lot of violence, being mad at the world, being, I guess, playing the blame game. Like, it's not my fault, but now I take responsibility in the little bit that I partook in my case. I'm okay with it now, like, holding myself accountable and just trying to do better this time around, trying to show my family that I have changed. I've changed for the better. I'm not the same person. I joke around with my sister and my friend, and I tell them I'm not the same man I used to be.
Hey, that's funny you mentioned that because that last message that you sent me, I showed it to my wife, and she said she's a man of her word. And my wife looked at me like, what's that supposed to mean? I kind of just chuckled,
No.
And it's funny that you say that now.
Like I was telling you, I'm not gay. I've had my fair shares of relationships, just experimenting, but I've been raised with a lot of guys. All my friends on my street were all boys. I was always the only girl. With my cousins, it was me, my cousin Sam. Another announcement.
Damn, yeah.
My cousin Chino. I feel like I have a lot of boy tendencies because I was raised with the guys. But still real girly, just stuck in here in prison having to wear these ugly blues.
Oh, do you wear the same blues as the guys, like those light, those sky blues?
Yeah, our pants are a little bit more feminine. We have the transgender clothes here, which is better than the clothes we get because it's not comfortable. Like our girl, the girl outfits are thicker. The guys' outfits, a lot of us, we get away to where that's what we go for. It's the exact same uniforms as them, the same blues.
And last time, when we left off, we were talking about male inmates, in the women's prison, and you just mentioned the transgender clothing and whatnot. And I've been I'm curious on that. It's because I can't wrap my head around it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like what's happening. That they're moving men in to women's prison pretty much. Are there any men there that are there against their will, or as everybody that's there is because they identify as a woman?
So they have to go through a process. I was reading the AB 132. They identify as women. They pretty much raise their hand. I'm transgender. A man becoming a woman. They're all here by choice. None of them are brought over here against their will. If anything, they actually fight to come over here. But our last warden has put a stop to it. Like, they go through a lot. There's a process. They have to go through ICC. They have to take classes. They have to do a lot of things. They have to take hormones that stops them from being men pretty much, and they start becoming...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Their estrogen, like, we have transgender women becoming men, and they're on the testosterone shot. Well, it's the same thing for them. They get on a shot, but the things that we've seen, as soon as they get here, they stop all that. It's like I said last time, it's a handful of them, and probably one or two really do identify as women. The rest, they have girlfriends. Girls have gotten pregnant. There's been situations where somebody's been taken advantage of, and it's just still crazy to us. It's crazy to us. They had told us that they were going to stop sending them. Our warden before this one had stopped all movement for them to come. I believe one was even sent back.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
But yeah, we still have a lot of them here. There's a few on each yard.
Wow.
But all they have to do is identify as women.
So in essence, there could be a dude right now in a male prison. They could say, "Hey, identify as a woman," and they'll transfer them. They'll transfer them over to a women's prison.
Not right away. There's a process to it. But eventually, if he pushes his line hard enough, they do send them.
And how, when you look at these men, do you feel like they belong there, or
Not at all.
No?
Not at all. It doesn't matter. We have a couple of them that have beat up on some women and have done other worse things. So to me,
All right, so her call was disconnected. We hit that 15-minute mark. She should be calling us back in the next moment or two. And for those of you that are not from California, it might be shocking, or it might not be shocking. I don't know, but yeah, this is I heard about it maybe like 2-3 years ago, and I was like, what? Like this? I don't know. A man is always going to be stronger than a woman, and for them, to be put there. It's like putting a fox in the hen house. Who's gonna do that? That's the way I look at it. But let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and pick her brain right now when she calls back. Damn, it didn't connect. Shit. All right, it didn't connect. She just called right up on my computer. Didn't ring for whatever reason. So when she calls back right now, we'll go ahead and connect it. Oh, I think she might have called me to the wrong number. I have two different numbers. One number I use for the interviews, and then the other number I use for if they just want to call me. So I think that's the number she called me. She called me to the regular number. Anyhow, hey, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them on the chat, and I'll go ahead and ask her. I'm sure you guys have to be curious. One question, two
This
questions.
is
Call is
Global
now being
Tellink.
recorded.
You have a prepaid call from an incarcerated individual at the Central California Women's Facility, Chowchilla, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello, hello.
Yes. I didn't even hear it say 60 seconds this time.
Yes, sometimes when you get into that conversation, you miss it. So yeah, I normally keep an eye on the clock, but by the time I was gonna say something, it was already too late.
Yeah. So where did we leave off?
So so like the man that they had us, they've done some things to the women. And when things like that happen, do they leave them there? Do they move them out, or what's the procedure?
They get taken. So they get taken to ADSEG. We have an inmate that got pregnant not long ago. I want to say within this last year.
Mm-hmm.
The man went to ADSEG. She went to CIW. Since this is a level 4 prison, they don't house pregnant women here.
Mm-hmm.
The only pregnant women that there is here is women that are in reception on A yards, but right away they get moved to CIW. So the minute that they found out she was pregnant, they moved her to CIW. But they stay in ADSEG for a while, and I believe the process is to send them back. But 9 out of 10, they just get let out. They get let back out to the general population.
When you say send them back, what does that exactly mean?
Send them back to the men's prison.
Oh, okay.
They send them back to the men's prison. Yeah. But no, been 2 incidents where, if I'm not mistaken, 2 of them have just been sent back to the general population here in our prison. And if not, they just swap them to CIW. They back and forth. Yeah.
I'm curious, if they get sent back to the men's prison, do they go back to the main line, or do they go SNY, or which happen to know what happens to them?
Oh no, they're SNY. They're SNY. They're I didn't know what SNY was till recently. I just knew PC and GP.
Yeah.
But most of them are from Mill Creek. Most of them are from Mill Creek. I want to say we have one that came from Corcoran a long time ago.
Yeah.
But most of them are from Mill Creek. I don't know if it's a medical facility.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
But the past couple of them that have came, that's where they come from.
You know what? I was having a conversation with my wife about this, and she was kind of like in disbelief. She was like, "Man, women, they go to prison, to work on themselves, and then they're adding like this whole different variable. It's pretty much like adding a fox into the hen house. Like you don't do that. It's we know what's gonna happen with the fox."
Yeah, insult to injury is what I believe. Like, a lot of us have been through a lot of stuff, a lot of trauma. I know the first one that was ever brought here, the situation was bad. A few women went to ADSEG behind not being okay with him being here, and then pretty much fighting him. He's still in CIW, and his type of case, we're mothers, we're women. Like, we protect everything and anything around us, and his type of case was a very hard case to deal with. So I know back then, and this is years ago, they were not having it. They were not allowed to touch this prison. But now, like, they just come through the cracks. And a lot more now, you see just women that, I don't know if they miss me being with a man or what their situation is, but they get in full-fledged relationships with these guys. And to me, like, if you're transgender and you're transitioning to be a woman, it doesn't make sense how you're with another woman.
Let me ask you something. So, so were you there when the first a male ended up on that yard there, or did you come after?
I came after. This was early 2000s, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
I came a lot after. Yeah.
But before you got to prison, did you know that this was happening, or were things like this happening also in county jail?
No. Oh, no. In county jail, the transgenders that would be housed with us would be women becoming men, but never with a bottom surgery. It was just transgenders that still had all their women parts.
Yeah.
I did not ever think that I would be in prison with a real man like that. Like I was telling you last time, we have VSP across the way, and I know it's a lot of SNY. It's a lot of it used to be a PC prison. A lot of us believe that they should have their own yard over there. The transgenders, women becoming men, they're still women. Yes, they are on the shop. They're a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
But they're still women. No, these are full-fledged men with all of their body parts still here integrated with us. And a majority of us don't agree with it, but we do get told by staff, you guys didn't fight hard enough. You guys, if you guys would have pushed your line, they wouldn't be here. But I also believe even if we would have done that, it's something that went into effect because the governor signed into it.
Yeah.
I believe, I do believe in everybody has their equal rights to whatever, identify as what they want to identify, but there's a thin line. There's a very thin line. A lot of ugly things have happened, and just at the end of the day, it's not okay. A lot of us don't agree with it, and we refuse. A lot of us refuse to house with them. And that's something that I think it's going to keep going on. It's going to keep going on until they figure something out. Or we have the yard where we have the medical unit. There's also another unit for people with mental disabilities. They can clear that unit out and put them there. But I don't believe that they should be housed with us. There you go. Hourly announcement.
So you know what? I think that would be fair right there. So if there's individuals there that are on that boat right there, I think they should have their own unit with pretty much with individuals that identify the same and have the same, the same body parts, because then they're able to mingle amongst themselves and they're not taking advantage or doing whatever they're doing to the women.
Yeah, because I don't believe that they're here for the reasons that they say they're here. We've been proven time and time again that that's not the case. And the staff's aware of it. They see it. But there's not much that they can do,
Yeah.
Our last warden, he stopped it. Our last warden, he was really against it. I can't remember who it was, what the person's name was, but they got here on the bus and they were in R&R, and the warden refused that person and sent them right back. Because they don't look like women is what these people don't understand. They look like men. You can tell when it's a transgender man becoming into a woman.
So pretty much, to paint a picture, you have a bald dude, shaved head with a big old brocha or a whip, tatted up, and just pretty much a physical man, right? That's walking around the yard.
Physical man, yes. a physical man, but without the brocha, and they try to let their hair grow.
Without the.
Fade off. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man. So
But
let
the
me.
bone structure, the jawline, the Adam's apple, the man ponytail. It's not even a girly ponytail. It's just you can just tell.
Yeah. So you get to prison, a few years back. You get there, and is that something that the staff let you know, like, hey, we got men house here in the prison, or how did you find out that there was men there on the yard?
No, the staff doesn't tell you nothing. They don't tell you nothing. The R&R process, they don't say anything. It's pretty much when they're already getting onto the yard that the staff is like, okay. They still don't tell us it's a transgender or nothing, but when they hit the unit or they hit the yard, we all know. Like, oh, hell no, here comes another one. Yeah. And it goes to everybody's refusing them. But there is that one brave motherfucker. Oh, my bad. No, that they'll be like, hey, we'll take them. Whatever, put them in our room. Yeah, but no, we're not told for the most part. Just as soon as they hit the yard.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's wrong.
Give us a heads up.
That's wrong in so many levels right there. That pretty much they're not taking your guys' safety into consideration. It's like, who cares what they think or they feel. This is what we're gonna do, and this is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's thanks to the governor. It's his doing, to be honest with you. They have their rights. They finished the whole process. Last night I was on the Lexus, the law library, looking into the AB 132, and it shows a couple of them fighting to come over here. And this new warden, I don't know why, but she's put a stop to it as well. And they've completed their courses, they've completed the hormone therapy, they've completed everything, and no, they're still not coming. So I hope it stays that way. At least till I go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty much at this moment they've stopped all transfers. They're still there, but they're not accepting any new males that are transitioning at this point.
That's what it looks like right now. That's what it looks like. There's the ones that have made it, they're here. They're in the clear. They're here. The other ones, I think they're still fighting to come, and it's a lot of them. We were told
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
We were told this past summer that 100 and something was supposed to come, and it wasn't going to be good. Had they done that, a lot of units were really upset about it, but they didn't get here. So I really do hope it's because of the new warden or whatever's going on behind closed doors that they don't let them come. They should be housed on their own. There's no reason why they should be housed with us. And it's a lot of them, over 100. So
I just had a question from. I just had a question from. I always crack up when I say his name, Nalgas Tumbadas, and he says, he's asking, is this true? Yeah, man, this is absolutely true. Look it up. If you look up, men in women's prisons in California, it's not only happening in California.
It's in other states too. We're not the only one.
Yeah.
Transgender men becoming women housed here with us in Chowchilla, CIW. There's a few in CIW as well. And CIW I think is worse because CIW is a two-man cell. It's 1 yard. The units are different, so it's a public shower area. The situation in CIW, I still think is worse than here. I feel like they would be able to get away with a lot more over there.
Hey, let me ask you right now that you mentioned the showers, because I was talking to with my wife about showers and whatnot at a women's prison. She's never had any
You have
contact.
60 seconds remaining.
Any contact with the police when you guys are showering and whatnot? Are there male officers are they able to see when you guys are showering in the shower area?
Not at all. Not
Okay.
at all. Let me call you back and we'll get into that right now.
Okay. All right. Cool. For sure. We'll be waiting. All right. So we're about to hit the 15-minute mark right now. So she should be calling back. She's currently located in Chowchilla, Chowchilla. I don't. She's in Chowchilla, which would be located in the Central Valley in California. And for those of you just tuning in right now, she's getting into men ending up in women's prisons. And I wish I was joking, but I'm not. Fortunately enough, I've been trying to get a hold of a woman that was located at one of these prisons, and finally, one of our viewers was able to make that happen, and that's how she's she's on here, to shed some light on what they're going through. All right, I got my breakfast burrito. Let me go ahead and take a bite on it before we get that call. How's everybody doing out there today? And here it is. She's calling back.
This call is now being
Telling.
recorded.
You have a prepaid call from an incarcerated individual at the Central California Women's Facility, Chowchilla, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Okay, so back to the shower situation. No, for the most part, when I try to explain to people our cells, Chowchilla and VSP are built very different. They're rooms. It's not a 2-man cell. It's an 8-man cell. We have our shower, our bathroom, but we have doors on each one. And then we have our sink area, which is like our kitchen area, and then the 4 bunks. So it's 8 people to a room, but our bathroom and our shower has a door. For the most part, we have curtains. The only time that the male staff will see us is when they have to do counts. But no, I don't know how it is in CIW. I've never been housed down there. My level has never dropped lower than a 3. So I just know it's a public shower area. Each unit has one, I believe, and it's just curtains. But for the most part, our male staff, they announce themselves when we get into the unit. We rarely have female staff here, but no, they don't see us. A lot of them are very respectful. They go to the room if somebody's in the shower. They don't look in the room. They just talk to us to the side. But no, for the most part, no. Yeah, I would probably flip out if we had to take showers like the guys do.
What about when you come back, like from visiting? Do they do a full strip down?
I don't know. I've never been to visiting.
Oh,
but when
okay.
I do go out to transpo, when I do go out to transpo, it's full strip down, cough, squat. Yeah, and we still get put through the scanners.
Oh, okay.
To make sure
the
that
body
no
scanners.
Yeah. I think it's the same thing with visiting, and I would think that it's more strict with visiting, but I think they do it in a private area. Yeah.
For the visiting, you don't receive any visits because you don't want to, or is it because you're so far from home?
I don't want to. I tell my mom I don't want her to come up here. It's a far drive from Riverside. In traffic, when I went out to court, it took me almost 6-7 hours. When I came back, it's a long drive in traffic. It could be up to 8 hours. So I tell my mom I don't want them coming up here. It's not something Yeah, I think because it would be too hard saying bye to her and just not having seen her this long, but it's not something that I still don't want it. She recently turned in an application to come see me, and I still argue with her for her to not come. Yeah, I think it would be too hard. It would. The last time I seen her was when I went out to court in June of 2021, and just the little bit that I had been gone at that time, how much she aged hit me really hard. So I think it's easier to not see it. So yeah, it's my choice. It's my choice. I don't want nobody to visit me.
And do you do video visits now since they offer them? Are you able to see her like that?
Yes. Yes, I do video call. I video call with my sister. I have video calls with my kids. They're in Texas, and for them to do the accounts, is GTL accounts, they have to be 18 and older. But yeah, I video call with friends, with family, with my mom, my sister. Yeah. I try to get her to understand that would be better, but no, she's hard-headed. I feel like she's gonna come up here and surprise me one of these days for the holidays or probably next month.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Man. Let me ask you. So, being incarcerated, what's been the hardest thing that you have to, deal with, being away?
My son. It all goes back to my son. About 2 years ago, I got a picture of my oldest son with my mom, my son Michael, and just to see the change in him. He's a young man now. He's 17, but he was 15 in this picture, and I didn't recognize him. So just seeing how much they've grown and how different they look compared to what I left, or how they looked like when I left. They were babies. My 9-year-old was going to be 10. My 7-year-old was going to be 8. My baby was turning 5 or 6. So they were little, but to see how much I missed out and how different they look, like that has been the hardest on me. The hardest, even with my nephews and my nieces. All the good memories that they were making still. That's I think my hardest. The hardest thing to deal with, the not being there, the birthdays, the holidays, milestones. My son's promoting. My son just recently finished high school 1.5 years early, so I'm missing his graduation. Like, just things that I know I should have been there for. That's what's really hard. That's what's really, really hard.
Man, that is tough. The kids. That's what I think about. I got a 6-year-old daughter, and I'm like, man, like being incarcerated at my age and having a daughter, that would be home. That's tough. Like I wouldn't wish that upon nobody, because it's
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It's the most precious moment.
Yeah. I wouldn't wish this on nobody. Being ripped away from your family, being ripped away from a life that like I told you last time, I'm a first-time offender. I've never been in trouble a day in my life. That I'm from the lifestyle, what's in the lifestyle, yeah, but still, like, I did all I could to never get in trouble, to being ripped away from all I know, to being here, and just knowing I'm missing everything that I'm missing my mom. She's aging now. Not being there for her.
Man.
Yeah, that's the hardest. It's the hardest.
And do they offer any? Does the prison offer like any type of like counseling or any type of programs, to help women in situations like that?
So there's groups. There's a couple of groups. Just recently, I had tried to start last year, but there's groups where we sit down and peer support, other inmates that do the process of becoming drug and alcohol counselors, and they get their degrees, they get paid and all of that while interacting with us. That's been my biggest support system. An old roommate of mine, Charity, she's helped me these last 2 years with a lot of my struggles, with what I struggle with still, the peer support we have here. We have a lot of groups where they help you heal your trauma. We have mental health. There's outlets if you look for them. That's only if you look for them. There's people that don't care to change their ways, that don't care to heal their trauma. But that's the one thing I have done this past 2 years. Yeah, since April of last year. Yeah, so this upcoming April will be my 2-year mark that I've been out of ADSEG. This is the longest I've ever been out of SHU, for the most part. But landing in her room and talking to her, keeping that friendship with her is what helped me. She's a facilitator. She facilitates a couple of groups, and she's my peer support sponsor. So she checks up on me, but not just me. We have a few of them on the yard, and they all check up on all the inmates. But we do have resources here, thank God. But it's all only if you want them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't force those that don't want to change. A lot of people, they're not saying, I'm not going to come back. It's just, part of their journey. Some people figure it out, some people don't. And it looks like you're at that point where you're ready, to do the right thing and continue on a positive living.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn all this bad that I've caused, all the hurt and pain that I've caused, not only to myself but to my family. I'm trying to turn it around. Nothing good comes out of running around in the hood. Nothing good comes out of shit. My nephew's always asking me, "Yeah, why are you in prison?" Because I didn't listen to your grandma. So had I listened to my mom, had I probably had a better way of communicating with her, I don't think I'd be in this situation. But I tell my sons, I have a really beautiful relationship with my sons. I tell them, you guys aren't the only kids that are going through this. It's a lot of more kids than you would think. But I tell them, I would want them to help the troubled youth when they get older. It's something I'm interested in doing when I go home, helping troubled teens, getting my degree in the alcohol and drug counseling, doing better now, giving back to the community, because I know I'm not the only one that's had a hard life. I know I'm not the only one that's been through some shit, but if I can overcome it with the resources that there is, with the help that there is, it's possible for anybody. And man, I never thought I would change. I always used to say, I don't have a drug problem. I have no problem doing drugs, is what my smart ass used to say. I was okay with just not caring. I don't care I didn't care what people thought of me, but now I have my sons that are becoming young men. I absolutely care what my sons think of me. I don't want them to ever be ashamed of who I am, who I was, So I'm ready. I'm ready for that next step in life of growing up, I guess. Growing up and letting all that lifestyle go. It's nothing to me anymore. I know who I am now. It's made me who I am now, but it's not where I want to be. It's not where I would ever want my sons to be, ever. So some goods came about out of all of this,
Do you ever think about, if you would have not ended up in prison, where would you be at in your life right now?
Probably gone. I would have probably overdosed. I would have probably overdosed. I see the fentanyl problem that these places have. I never knew what fentanyl was, but it's scary. It's scary. It's in everything and anything. And the way my addiction was going, I was all out. I was all out. I don't think I would be here, James, had I not caught this case. Even though I kept using after I caught it, I think on the street, it would have been a lot worse. I was reckless. I was careless. I didn't care about anything. Losing my kid's father to his third prison term was really, really hard, especially because the time that we thought he was facing. And then I lost a couple of friendships before I got arrested.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
A few friends had passed away, so it's just, I know I had my sons to live for and to keep going, but I just felt so helpless.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I was in a very, very bad place before I got arrested. So I really do think the outcome, I would not have been here.
And right now, you mentioned, the epidemic that's currently going on out here. I'm not going to say the word because I'm not trying to get flagged. But I think everybody knows what people are, ODing on. How's the prison, how do they handle those type of situations when women, OD there in the prison? Are they able to bring them back or what's the outcome when something like that happens in prison?
Okay, let me call you right back before it hangs up.
Okay, for sure.
We'll get into that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right. So these calls are only limited to 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, they got to go ahead and call back. So we're going to go ahead and wait for her to call back. And this is Jeanette Garcia. She's currently in Chowchilla. All right. And man, today, damn, I've been off for a minute already. I gotta take a break. How is everybody doing out there today? Where's everybody tuning in from? I know we got Nalgas Tumbadas coming in from. Where is it? Where's Nalgas Turbadas coming in from? He's coming in from. Where the hell is the message at? Man, I need to get some glasses here. Oh, Arvin. He's coming in from Arvin. All right.
This call is now being recorded.
Link. You have a prepaid call from an incarcerated individual at the Central California Women's Facility, Chowchilla, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
5.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Yes.
All right.
Recently they started giving us Narcan to keep on ourselves, but it's pretty much everywhere. Our staff has it. It's in our day room. It's in our game room. It's in the clinic. They pass them out now like pamphlets.
Yeah.
That's what the staff is doing to try to overcome all that. But I don't know of anybody passing from it yet, but there is a lot of those. There is a lot of those overdoses that happen on a daily basis here. Yeah.
So similar to the men's prison too, because at Centinela, man, it seems especially like during the holidays, there's like a spike. Like if everybody's looking to escape, from their reality, and it seems like this is when
holidays are tough. Last year, I want to say a family friend that we grew up with going to church. Her son passed away. I don't know where he was housed, but yeah, he passed away during the holidays. Overdose. I think with the men, the situation's a lot worse because it's 2-man cells. Their walkthroughs are spaced apart, I believe. But with us, no. Somebody goes down and it's 222. Yard goes down, they rush to them. It's different with the men. I think it's more common, the overdoses over there, and them actually passing us than it is over here. That's where I think that's at. But they're trying. We have AA, we have NA, there's other groups. We have the resources for people getting help if they need it. But like you said, it's the holidays. The holidays are really, really hard for people being away from their families.
Yeah,
I think, James, to be honest with you, this is the first set of holidays that I've actually done sober out of all the time this is my 8th set of holidays that I've done incarcerated. It'll be 8 years next year, but since I got arrested the ending of 17, that's why I count 8, my 8th birthday, the 8th set of holidays. But it's just the only sober year, I want to say, that I'm celebrating all these holidays.
Damn, and you know what? And somebody might be listening out there, and they might be thinking, "Damn, like why would it take 8?"
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
8 holidays to snap out of it, and I mean, I guess in prison, I mean, what else can you do? What things do you have to look forward to? You know, you're pretty much doing the same thing every day. You're with the same people. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are in misery.
Yeah, misery loves company, and there's a lot of misery here. But next year I qualify for CCTRP. It's the ankle monitor program. I have more stuff to look forward to.
Yeah.
But I've also came into a lot of health problems being here. So with that, I think that's where me really wanting to get sober comes from. 2 years ago in November, I did my first radiation treatment for the thyroid condition that I have. It's something that I never wanted to tell my family about. It's something I never wanted to talk about because it was just too much for me to open up on. I let myself go, being in my addiction, didn't care about myself. Not enough for me to watch out for the health conditions that I had. I was so high last year. I had a heart attack, a small heart attack, a little bit after having my radiation treatment. And then this year, I've been knowing that I wasn't done, but I still have, they're considered tumors that I have to work on, either having them removed or having another radiation treatment. So I think that's where me wanting to really get sober comes from, having to take care of myself. Like, I really want to go home to my kids. I want to live a little bit longer. Like, I'm in a better place mentally. I still have a lot of life in me, something I never thought I would say, but that's what makes me want to get sober. That's what made me snap out of it, to realize how much I let myself go, not caring like, hey, I'm going to do this again, or I'm not going to stop, what's the point? No, I can't think like that. My health has taken a toll on me, and that's what pushes me to want to do better, I really do matter. Like, I have people that are waiting for me to come home. I have my sons, I have loved ones, I have friends, the rest of my family. That's what's making me snap out of it, James, is I can't continue to get myself sick, because that's all it does. My ligas, the hangovers, all that, like, it's not worth it. It's not worth me jeopardizing my health any more than what I already have.
Yeah.
Been really struggling with my health, and I'm ready to take care of it. I'm ready to finish this process, get over it, overcome it, and get home. Hopefully by June the latest, I'll be at CCTRP, and just that's if any of these new laws or the SBs, the ABs, the penal codes that have gone into effect. That's if they don't work on me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to apply for court. I'm trying to even show my counselor here. I dropped levels this year. I keep dropping to a level 3, go back to a 4, to go back to a 3. But this year, I'm trying to stay at a level 3. So by next year, I can be a level 2. And if I don't go home from court, I can go to the program. And that's one step being closer to home.
So you mentioned a program. So I've heard of MCRP. Is that the program you're talking about? Is it similar a program, but is it for women?
Yes, it's similar to that, but for women. You have to be 3 years to the gate. You have to be right up free. My last shoe term will be 2 years ago in April, so it'll be better for me to wait a little bit if I don't get the outcome of court that I want. But they need to see the change. They need to see that I really want this, that I can really program. I felt like this whole past year I didn't program due to health issues, but the year before that I didn't care to program. I ran a good program, didn't get in trouble. Only times that I get in trouble is when I go to shoot, but besides that, it's the CCTRP, the ankle monitors. You have to show them that you can rehabilitate yourself here in order to be able to run that program, because it's a waste of space and time for say that I'm not ready for that change, and I go just to get set right back. That could have been somebody else that's really trying a lot harder than I am. But it's the same program, just for women.
And let me ask you. So I know you mentioned you've had some incidents with the staff. Why is it that these incidences are occurring with the staff? Are they agitating you? What exactly it's causing those issues?
Those issues have started since I first got arrested. That was my thing, to get off on the staff. I think it comes from like all the anger that I had against officers and just with authority, always being told what to do, and then with my brother's case, how my brother was killed by a sheriff. I think that's what all of that came from, where it was just an easy target. You know what? I'm tired of being out here in GP. I need a little vacation. Just the cop that talked to me the wrong way or said anything to me, that would be the one to get it. So just to remove myself, I think. But my last incident that caught me this time, which is my Madera case, that put me at 18, that was against staff that I was provoked with that incident. I was very much provoked. Now they have body cams. The body cams, they're supposed to be on at all times, but back then they didn't have body cams, and the main officer that I took off on, it was an officer that just would agitate me, poke at me till I finally had it. But now, like, even when they do, because there is staff that doesn't know how to talk to us. There's staff that they think just because they're COs that we need to respect them. No, my thing is this: you guys would not get away doing this in the men's prison.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
You guys would not think twice to do this to a male inmate, so why do you think it's okay to do it to us? Because we're women? No. That's where my way of thinking, I tell you, it gets me in trouble here and there, but I'm not letting it bother me no more, like, because I know they want a reaction. Especially, I feel like they know what I will do, what I am capable of doing, but I'm not resorting to that no more. I laugh at it now, like, oh, you want me to get mad so bad, but no, I'm learning how to deal with my anger in a better way. And at the end of the day, it's not okay for me to be putting my hands on anybody, whether it be staff, whether it be inmates. It's just, I see it different now. Like, I wouldn't want somebody doing that to my kids. This is somebody's kid, somebody's parent, somebody's something. Like, I stop myself now. That, and then picking up more time.
And when you picked up this more time, did they run it concurrent or consecutively?
Consecutive.
That's the worst, no? That's considered bow-legged.
Yeah. All my time is consecutive. It gave me a second active strike as well. So that's another thing that has me like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
No, yeah.
No, it's not.
And right there in the county that you're in, because I know, like, getting struck out, it varies by county and their policies. Do they prosecute misdemeanors as third strikeable offenses?
I don't know, because with this case, when I finally took my time, it was a little bit after my radiation treatment. So I took my time in December of 22, and I really wasn't all there, James. I just went to court one day. I had just got out of the infirmary from being isolated from everybody. And I remember going and just telling my public defender, like, hey, shoot whatever you guys got. I need to go back. Like, I'm not in no condition to be sitting here arguing with you guys. I know they dropped my battery on an officer, intent to produce GBI. They dropped it down to a restraint that I just wouldn't cuff up, but I did cuff up. So even though it went to a lower offense, I still got...
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I still managed to get an active strike, in prison, felony offense, and just stuff that doesn't make sense to me still. But I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Both cases, I was really reckless of just hurry up and give me something. Like, let me get on with myself. Yeah. So I wouldn't know.
Do you got enough time for another one? Because I know you had mentioned you had to be off of the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool then.
At 45. Yeah, I have time for one more.
Okay. Cool. Perfect. We'll be waiting for another one then.
Okay.
All right. So this is gonna be the last call right here, coming up. So we got another 15. Hopefully you guys still got another 15 minutes of free time on your hands. And man, today, damn, we got 32,000 hearts today. Highly appreciated if you've been participating in that. Mad Dog 2020. That's right. Make money 22379. How you doing today, man? I've been seeing you pop up on the what do you call it, on joining the streams. Highly appreciate it. I see there's 10 people in here. If you guys haven't joined, so please do so. Hit the subscribe button. It's free 99, my favorite price.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Garcia.
An incarcerated individual at the Central California Women's Facility, Chowchilla, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
Cinco.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah. What were we talking about? I'm like getting everything ready to step out in a bit. Yeah.
We're just talking about your case, the in-house charges that you caught.
That's my in-house charges.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's crazy, James? I had got in-house charges in Riverside County when I had gone back out to court. So I think that played a factor as in why I got this second strike up here. Yeah, I was really bad. Like, I did not let these cops look at me one way or say anything to me because I get off what I'm mad at. And it really messed me up. It messed me up because I was blessed to have just 14 years just to go back up to 18. But
Yeah.
I was facing 22 altogether because they were going to give me 8 years. So I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, no, I'm done. I promise I'm done assaulting your staff. Like, I needed to get help with my anger. And these past 2 years, it has not been easy. It has not been easy because there is staff that messes with us. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, man, years, years start adding up. And by the time you know it, man, it's like, where has all the time gone? Missing out on the best years of your life, your kid's life.
Yes. Well, it's supposed to be my 30s, having fun out there. No, I spent them all locked up. Yeah.
Man. I know a little while ago, or a bit ago, you touched on the individual that ended up escaping up there in Delano.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? If you have any.
Man, so when we seen it on the news, it said he was facing 25 to life. So we just seen it recently, and it's 80 to life.
Mm-hmm.
And my thoughts of that, I would have probably done the same thing.
Oh man.
Yeah. Man, I don't blame him. I'm not happy with him because shit. Everything we have to deal with here, but man, 80 to life for another case he was fighting. So I'm like, damn. That's why he took off.
Hey, so interesting enough. So he caught a case, but for me, if you really think about it, I don't think that case that in-house case that he caught didn't warrant him going to court to pick up new charges, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he went to court because he had a homemade weapon. And then I think he might have got caught with narcotics or something. Come on, you got 80 to life already. Like what? Like, you're trying to take juice out of a damn rock. It's like, let it be already. It doesn't make any sense. I wonder who made that decision. I'm guessing maybe it's Kern County, because maybe they don't. I know certain counties will pick up cases. It doesn't matter what kind of case, they'll pick it up regardless. So, but man, like, does it make any sense?
How this county is. It doesn't make no sense at all, because, like you said, 80 already all that time. He's already washed up. What is another 3-5 years? The makeshift weapon carries, I want to say 5 years the most.
Yeah.
What is the point of you guys? Now you guys just put us all in the predicament. Like, yeah, but I know Madera County prosecutes to the max for anything and everything. They don't care if you're LWOP. They don't care if it's like they like making examples out of us because it's a prison county.
Yeah.
You're not here to enjoy yourself, to play around. So yeah, they prosecute the dumbest things. They pick up the dumbest
charges.
I wouldn't say the one that I heard recently. Yeah, the one that I heard recently was intent to pick up something, but the person never had the narcotics in their possession. They never came across them. It was the intent. And this is already a person that's been down almost 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
A person that still has a lot of time to do. So it's like, it's going to get probably dropped, but you guys are still taking her to court, still doing this, that, the other. Yeah. Like, and just to put situations like this that could happen.
Yeah. It's a public safety matter.
It doesn't make sense.
I'm not sure when you saw that news segment on it. Did you guys see when he was running across the field and the CO was chasing him, and it looked like he was like out of shape, and it looked like he was holding up his weapon, aiming to try to hit him, but
no.
Oh yeah, they got it on video. Yeah. So look.
Oh wow.
So there's two videos of it. Okay, there's one video. There's this car out here called the Tesla, and if there's like any movement around it, it'll automatically start recording. So some of that video was recorded through the car automatically, and then I think somebody was sitting in their car and they recorded the other portion. So that right now, what I was mentioning to you, where the officer's chasing him. You see the guy running across this field, and then the officer's chasing him, and then I guess he's screaming something, probably like freeze, like stop, or I'm gonna let loose. And then the dude turns around, the inmate, he has his He has his orange scrubs on. And then another interesting thing that I noticed that he had his shoes from the catalog, and he had thermals on. And from what I hear, when you go out to court, you could only have state issued stuff. So you would have
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
You would have your Crocs on, and you wouldn't have on those state issued shoes with the thermals on. So
no. Those are probably policies, but no, when I would go out to court, I have my catalog shoes, I have undergarments, undershirt, a muscle shirt, or a long sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm really cold up here, so I always wear sweats. So yeah, because that's what me and the girls were talking about. Like, he had to have something under his clothes to get out of those oranges.
Yeah.
See, there's no way he was running around in his boxers.
He probably had his
going to be something that does.
probably had his 501s.
That's going to affect us now.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Probably. That's something that's going to affect us now. Now we're going to be stripped all the way down. You can't take that. You can't take that. Like this. This incident is doing a lot more for us now.
Yeah.
It is. I don't blame the dude. Shit. If I had the chance, I don't blame him. But man.
Hey, let me ask you.
He really messed up.
When they transport you guys, do for the women, do they put the black box on? I know they put like the leg irons and the cuffs, and they put the restraints around your waist. But do they normally black box you when you go to court?
Not this county, not yet. I wouldn't doubt it if it does come along though.
Yeah.
When I'm in county, because I like to flip my cuffs, just for a better ride because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Now I have a cross chain chrono. I have to be cross chained so I don't come out of my shackles.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't doubt it if they start doing that to us because I know Fresno does that.
Yeah.
There's counties that do that, but it's something that they're probably going to start implementing everywhere because of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. It's not like
Yeah, and he's still out there.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, to Mexico. I'm like, I highly doubt it. That's the first place they're going to look.
Yeah. You know what? I think with that whole thing that happened in New York with that CEO from United, I think that kind of overshadowed, what's happening over here. So everybody's too focused on what's happening in New York opposed to, what's happening out here in California.
I completely forgot. Yeah, I had completely forgot he did that until my staff told me. My staff told me, oh, yeah, no, this is a different type of training because of that guy that escaped. And I was so oblivious to him being a CDCR inmate. I'm like, hey, but that happened in court. But no, she's like, he was a state body. So, yeah, that man.
Yeah. And then you know what? On the video, so look, on the video from the Tesla, you could see, so you see the dude running through the parking lot, but then they show the back camera of the car, and you could see the other officer that's in the van. That fool looks like super panicked. He's all like paniqueada, like he didn't know what to do. Like, oh, like you could see like his face, like his facial expressions. Like, man, damn, we messed up. The van is going back and forth, and he's trying to figure out what the hell to do. And then, the way they got that set up right there for that court, it's kind of like in a strip mall. It looks kind of like, and the I guess like where they pull up, like the Sally Port to drop off the people that are being transported in. It's not fully covered. It's not enclosed. So it's like half a brick wall, and then on top of that brick wall, they have like a fence. So I'm guessing that dude, he probably like jumped up on that fence and jumped over the other part, and he was gone.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys watch the NBC Lock, and I think it's NBC or LS or something, the Locked Up. It shows not just Cali, but it shows other states of how these dudes get away. Just it's nothing for somebody to hop a fence.
Yeah.
It's nothing. The Madera courthouse here, we go underground. It is enclosed. So there's no way. There's no way.
Man.
An inmate. They're looking for an inmate now. Yeah. Yeah, that's the main whole prison in Macomb.
You know what? The only courts I've ever been to, like as an adult, would be I went to Bushett Street Court in LA County, and that one you don't even have to leave county. You just walk under a tunnel, and bam, you're in a holding cell there. And then the other court that I've been to would be Superior Court in LA County also, and that it's like a 2-minute bus ride from county. And that one you go underground, into their parking structure, so you don't see anybody walking by or anything like that. So when I do see like videos like this of when when they're transporting people and they're actually walking out, like it's maybe like 10-15 feet or whatever, I'm like, man, that's just a trip, because I never got to experience anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's how ours is in Riverside. It's we call it the Green Mile.
Mm-hmm.
It's all under. But as soon as they arrest you, there's like the entrance to the holding cells, to everything. They cuff you to the bench. But there's cops, detectives, everybody's walking around. So you're bound to get shot if you try something like that in Riverside.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what?
Over here, no.
Speaking of getting pew that, somebody did put in. I'm just trying to get flagged. Certain words. They they get us. Get me banned real quick.
Yeah.
But so when the CO was about to, when he was taking aim, somebody put a comment on there. They're like, you know what? He probably didn't take the shot because it looks like he was running towards like some residential houses. Imagine he doesn't hit the individual, and then he ends up hitting somebody innocent. Man, that's gonna be like a whole cluster, if so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just never know.
The whole situation, like, man,
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy, and the carelessness.
Mm-hmm.
The carelessness. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just glad he wasn't gun ho. I'm not sure if you recall, a few years back, maybe like 3-4 years ago, up in the valley in California, there was a pew pew of an officer up in Sears. I guess they were trying to apprehend somebody, and this dude the cop ended up pew pewing, and then he ended up going through the wall, and somebody was in a fitting room, and they ended up getting it, and they ended up losing their life over it. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was all over the news for a few months.
No, you know what? I barely recently started watching news and watching TV. Like, I've had my TV for a cool minute. That's another thing that I know we're privileged with. My friend was telling me that in the men's prison, if one has a TV, the other one's not allowed. Here, all 8 of us can have our own TV. But
yeah,
man. Shout out to the guys. I don't know how you guys do your time, but ours is.
Damn, you guys got like a news station going on.
Yeah. So, I just recently started watching these up here because it's a lot of stuff that happens up here in Central California. It's really, really bad. It's too much for me sometimes. I'm just like, wow, that's been 1, 2, 3, 4 of those incidents in like 2 days. Yeah, it's bad up here. So I try to steer clear from the news stations from up here because, it's a lot of incidents like that up here. That or houses being lit up, like just a bunch of stuff that it's crazy. Stuff that
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I know it happens down south, and I know it happens, but it's not as common as it is up here,
Yeah. Hey, so I know we just got hit with the announcement. Do you have any parting words for anybody listening on right now?
Yeah. Just thank you for having me on, and for everybody and anybody that's going through it. There's always a light at the end of that tunnel. It's worth fighting for. I promise you, it's worth fighting for. Putting your family, yourself, and God first. Thank you for having me on, James, again. I hope my little journey helps people not lose hope, not give up, Just keep.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And hopefully, I hear back from you guys soon, If you guys want to talk about anything else, I'm up for it.
Call me back to their line right now, and we'll talk off of there for a moment. All right, guys. You are watching. You have a collect call from, or at collect call from. And like I said around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we are out. A rato.